make sure this is actually going. Every day I have to. Okay, there's my face. It's up. We're live. Cool. All right. Hi. Hope you're doing well. It's just after 5 today, getting a little bit of a later start than yesterday, but that's because I was busy reading things, and I read some pretty interesting stuff overnight, and I wonder if this is like Zoom, where if I put stuff in the chat, it keeps. I guess we'll find out, because I read like this really good article on, it was Redux and how it works, like in a React app, and there was a chart that went with it, and it was like crazy and confusing, but having that article along with it definitely helped, and I'm gonna pop that up. So looking for it right now among my many bookmarks. I have all the resources. Wahaha. Where are you? I know I saved it like 15 different times. I had to have, because it was like a really good thing. And it's just, when I need it, I can't find it, because of course, that's how the world works, isn't it? Here we go. Flat iron resources. And let's see. There's this. So my girl, Chien, shout out to Chien. She's graduated from Flatiron. She's spending the summer in, wait, where is it? Hold on. I don't want to get this wrong. In Queens, yes, she's spending the summer in Queens, and she's looking for work. Hire her. She provided me with this resource. She's a go-getter and a team player, and this thing that she shared is amazing. So I'm popping it up here. I'm going to zoom in and take this down. Zoom in here. Oop, there we go. And is that big enough? Yeah, I think so. Let me know in the chat if you need zoomed in more. So React Redux cheat sheet, it was put together by this gentleman, and he had contributions from Mark Erickson, who created Redux Toolkit, and these other two users. So this is Na and Sampai Lasar. So yeah, and there's two different sizes. So let's see, yeah, this one is a good size for this. Let me just make this a bit larger. It's this crazy workflow thing that shows like Okay, so here's the store. Here's some functions that are accessible through the store and the state, and it explains like slices. This from JS is using immutable, which is a package, an optional package, and it has a note here. They're using that in React Router, and it's really cool. It shows they're showing it as in this is the app.js file. So this is this provider component. Inside that you have nested the router component. Inside that you have nested the app component, and then a smart component, and it's showing this stuff in dumb components inside that, and that harkens back to a post by Dan Abramov that I just read, talking about presentational versus container components instead of smart versus dumb components. And he said he originally wrote it like that, but felt that didn't describe it fairly. So we switched it to presentational and container. And also on this side, you see how the reducers go and connect to these different slices of the state, and the actions feed into the reducers, all this cool stuff. And then to go along with all of that, there's an article that describes this whole workflow and it shows these articles that or posts, and there's video series too. So actually I think these are posts and these 4 videos, and just kind of walks through this. So I found that to be very helpful, and I'm going to paste this in the chat, and hopefully for people who join later, it'll still be there. There we go. And look at this. Gonna put a note there. And my apologies if you can hear people talking in the background. My mom doesn't understand that when I say I'm streaming, that means please not, please just be quiet, but, that's okay. So I read that. I read a couple other things, and then I looked at some other projects using React and Redux to get just a better idea of how to kind of organize this. And I think that, so I come from a Ruby on Rails background. Like that's what I learned first and got comfortable with first, object oriented all the way. So then going from that to vanilla JavaScript, I was just like, what's going on? This is like so loosey-goosey compared to what I know. And it was difficult, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around these different design patterns because it's so flexible, which is a good thing when you think about it. There's so many different ways to do things. Sometimes though, when you're learning, you just want someone to be like, do it this way, like just tell you how to do it. You could be like, okay, let's get it done. So I think I found kind of like a structure that I want to follow. And also, let me go back to, okay, so this is my code. So just as a little refresher, I'm creating this thing I'm calling the gifting calendar to track, where people can track their contacts and occasions in which they'd like to gift something to a contact that they have, and like what that gift is. So I have a recipient, so that's like a contact. I have a recipient resource built out on the back end, which is the Rails API. Now I'm building out the front end, and I started reading through this this guide. It's a React Redux tutorial by Dave Ceddia, and I'm also going to put that in the chat as well. Tutorial I'm following today. And then there we go. So if you'd like to bring that up, you can follow along on your own computer. And, or maybe you're just here to listen to my soothing voice. Who knows? So yesterday I was kind of like, okay, where do I start? Where do I start? And I ended up doing what Dave calls error-driven development, which I think is pretty hilarious. And yeah, this seems like something that is pretty much going to dictate this project for me. But what he does in this tutorial is he's saying, let's learn Redux starting with plain React by taking an incremental approach. Going to start with a React app and add pieces of Redux, dealing with errors along the way. And the app that he's using is a counter app. So I figured, and I haven't gone through this tutorial yet, this is on the fly, off the cuff, all that good stuff. So I figured I'd just kind of repurpose that and do it here and see what happens. So hey, you know, let's give it a shot. Okay, cool. It looks like I can shrink that down pretty well. So before I get real into that, I just want to look and see, because I don't have everything committed. Yesterday, excuse me, so yesterday, I made changes in this index file. I put in, well, here, let's show the diff right here. So added the provider. Basically, I installed using Yarn, React Redux, Redux Thunk, Redux DevTools. I think that's it. And imported all this stuff. So imported the provider from React Redux, apply middleware and create store, Thunk, and compose with DevTools. And that was just a handy little package that Beth, a former instructor of mine, told me about in chat yesterday. So thanks for that, Beth. So I did that, and basically I was thinking, okay, let's start by connecting React and Redux together. I knew I'd have to add a provider in here with a store. So that's what I did, and then actually create the store. Are you, hold on a sec, sorry. Are you taking off?
No.
Okay. My mom's visiting. She's my coworker
What
today.
else is new?
So, yeah, so here I decided to start writing create store, and I know the store needs a reducer, and that's also where we put the dev tools in and our middleware. And I was like, okay, so I just put this word reducer here as a placeholder and decided let's just spin it up and see what happens. Error-driven development, because I had a couple errors that I had to fix, and then I got the error I was expecting was reducer is not defined. So that's when I went over and decided, okay, I'm gonna make a reducers folder and put create manage recipients, this file here, and start creating this reducer. So I was just working on that and kind of got a little bit stuck with this update recipient reducer. What I want to do right now is commit this work. So I'm going to first, because I have both my front end and my back end in a parent folder, I have to change into the front end directory, and let me see what we have here. Okay, I have just my main branch, so I'm going to, I'm going to commit just this one. So git commit add. So, you know, basically what I was about to write was git commit add provider and store. But with commits, and I know this might sound silly, but you really shouldn't be putting the word and in any commit message. That means it should be 2 commits. So what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to git add -p index.js. So that stands for partial, I think, partial. Whoops, okay, that's not what I want. Add -p. Okay, so I just did git add -p all. So doing this, I don't want to be famous. Go away. Oh, hi there. Oh my goodness. Go away, you spammers. Hey there. Creature next. Oh god. I know your name, I just can't remember because it's your screen name. I have this horrible trouble with that. but I remember from nyc.rv, hi! So I ran git add -p and then the dot to signify all. So here, Oscar, that's it. Hi, Oscar, and hello, Kirk. So I'm right now just wanting to stage hunks. So I can make more granular commits and let's see. So I am going to, this is my index file and it's saying stage this hunk and there's all these options and they have like short codes for all of them. I'm gonna, oh, I forget. Come on. I wanna separate them out, but I forget what the actual, why are you not listening to me? Come on. Oh, here we go. S, there we go. Split the current hunk into smaller hunks. And hunk is just such a fun word to say, if you ask me. So now it says split into 3. So I have that option again. And there's different things here. Who's this? So I can do all these, like leave it undecided or manually edit or whatever. So I'm going to I'm just gonna stage this and then press D to say don't stage anything else. So now it has the stage changes is just that. Let me come down. Just the imports right now. And that's what's going to be my commit. So git commit add imports to index.js. And this is like super granular, so I probably normally wouldn't do something like that. Like, I definitely won't do it on other files, but it's like the first time I'm importing anything in my app, so I kind of feel like it's special. So I'm gonna go through this procedure again. I want to split this up again, and I definitely want to stage this. So this is my store. So staging that, and then ignoring the rest for now. Git commit, create store. Okay, and now I know that all that's left here is adding that provider and store into that render. So I can just add in that GUI part. The GUI, git commit, add provider to add provider to index.js. That's what I'm going with. All right, cool. So that's all I want to do there. Gonna close this up. For my manage recipients, I did a lot of work here, but I feel like I was getting a little ahead of myself yesterday. still, I don't want to lose it. So what I'm going to do is git stash and hold on a sec. I can add a message to it. Git stash. I want to double check though. I think you just add -m on the end, but create a stash with a custom message. Oh, okay. Git stash save my custom message. Let's give that one a shot. Git stash save original recipients reducer. I'm gonna put incomplete here. Oh god, that didn't work. Oh, no local changes. I might have to add that. Hold on a second, my mom's leaving.
Who are you talking to?
My viewers.
Oh. See you, sweetheart.
Hi, Mom, love you.
Love you too.
Oh, hey, don't forget your charger.
Oh, whoops. I did forget my charger.
Oh, good gracious.
That would really All right. Well,
all right.
we'll talk.
Okay, tell Dad I said hello.
You gotta let us know if you want to at least go out to dinner just think about it.
All right.
If you want to just wait. You can just wait to take you out for ice cream. I got ice cream yesterday at Mary.
Oh, nice.
I got a kiwi size.
Kiwi size.
Yeah.
Oh, Oscar says hi.
Hi, Oscar.
I hope you heard that. She said hello. My mom is like the mom of all moms. All my friends know her just because she's around all the time. So I think it might be because this wasn't staged that it didn't stash. So let's try that. There we go. All right. And now when I put git stash list, here we go. We have the one change that's stashed with the message. So it says deleted here, but it's just hiding. So I'm going to push this, get everything all Shirley was my mom's name, so she should meet Shirley. I'm going to create a new branch. So I have git co, that's an alias for checkout. I put T because this will track off of my main branch, and then -B signifies to create a new branch and then like check out that new branch. And I'm going to name it tutorial since the plan is to code from this tutorial. So what do we got going? So one thing that I saw that I really liked was some people put a Redux folder, like a subfolder, and under src, and that's where they kept actions, and they also added reducers under there. So it separated the concerns a bit more, and that just makes more sense to me in my brain. Also, containers. A lot of, let's see. So a lot of these setups that made sense to me had containers that were like these class components that took the props and messed with them, kind of just did stuff to them. And that's also where you would export using connect and map state to props, map dispatch to props, that kind of stuff. And then inside components is where you would have stuff that would kind of be rendering based on props that were passed down from the containers. So it would be like, I'm gonna, in this container, take these props and manipulate them somehow, and then call a component and pass the props through. In the component, all it's going to do is render it. So I think making those two separate makes more sense to me as well. So, okay, we're in here, and get rid of that. This tutorial. Okay, so let's see. We're doing error-driven development, and got plenty of time to screw up here. Let's screw up together. It'll be fun. So here, the example he uses is a counter, and the counter component holds the state. The app surrounding it is a simple wrapper. So they have the class counter extends React component. They're defining state here, like as a local state. This increment function setting the state, taking count in the current state, adding one. Decrement, same deal, only they're subtracting one from the current state. And then rendering is they're rendering this counter as an H2, and when they click the button, they're calling this .decrement, which is this function up here. When they click that minus button, when they click the plus button, they're calling this .increment, which is this function. And in between those buttons, they are rendering the current state, which is that current count, and then exporting the whole class. Cool. So let's see. Follow along. We are not following along in a sandbox. We're jiggering it around to work for us. That's what we're doing. So Redux gives you store, lets you keep state in it and get state out, respond when state changes, but that's all it does. React Redux lets you connect pieces of the state to React components. So if you don't know, now you know. Redux knows nothing about React at all. Redux actually can be used for like other front-end JavaScript frameworks. It's just paired with React a lot. So if you didn't know that, today you learned something. TIL, tag me at Megan at Meg_Gutshaw on Twitter. or actually tag Dave Ceddia because it was really his. Yeah, I don't know, both of us, because you know it was a team effort. Okay. Let's see. But usually, he makes a good point. Usually, when anyone mentions Redux in the context of React, they're referring to both libraries. So both React Redux and Redux. And like he says, it'll work with Vue, Angular, and Node Express. Let's see. So Redux has one global store. In the example up here, this is not using a global store, which this is using a local state. A global store holds a global state. And he refers it to the state of your app. I kind of, yeah, I'm more thinking about it as a global state, but it's definitely different from like vanilla JavaScript. You can't just like have something floating out there. You have to specifically put it into the store. Then here we go. So in index.js, they're creating store. So import create store, which is what I have. Const store equals create store. And they say they have an error, expected the reducer to be a function. So they say the store needs a reducer. So what I'm gonna do now, they're saying let's just make something simple. And since I already did this, like created this reducer here, I'm gonna I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna import reducer. Oh, open. There we go. So let's make a new file. Manage recipients.js. So let's go over here, and I'm going to call this manage recipients after. Actually, no. I'm going to call it recipients reducer. And reducer state action, and then just do the same thing that's in that code right there. Reducer state action, and then return state, and export default recipient reducer. I'm going to rename this reducer dash. And then back in here, blah. Okay, recipient reducer from, where is it coming from? Redux / reducer / recipient reducer. And then just put it right in there. Cool. All right. Now, let's start this puppy up. Let's fire her up. How do I start it again? Yarn start. I think that's it. Hey, let's see what happens. Oh, did I break everything? Who knows? Okay, we're spinning. We're spinning. Okay. Inspect and console. Zoom that up in there. Okay, reducer, undefined object, type init. Now, this is looking good. I like how this looks. This is basically the default type, is at init. So let's see what Dave has to say about it. We should see a message log there, something like that. At Redux / init. He's in Code Sandbox, so it might be a little different for him. Notice how Redux called your reducer at the time you created the store. To prove it, put a console log immediately after the call to create store. And notice how it prints out after the reducer. Okay, let's do that. Console log after create store. Refresh this. There we go. You ain't wrong. Also, notice how Redux passed a state of undefined and the action was an object with a type property. Ooh. Reducer undefined. So I'm a little confused. Because we have an object type undefined. State of undefined action object with a type. Okay, now that's what we have. So I guess the state comes right after this. Reducer undefined, the type, and the type isn't undefined. I misspoke. I'm just talking. I'm just keep talking to fill up air. Because that's what you came for, right? Right? All right. So reducer is a scary word. No, it's not. Reducer actually is much like the, it's Mozilla. Where am I going? I'm trying to go to MDN, Mozilla Developer Network, and find this. So this comes from the reduce function in JavaScript, and this is what the reducer is doing. It's just taking like a bunch of different callback functions and here we go, and making it so like you can combine them all into one. So instead of using that switch, I think that's what he's going to say. Let's find out. You pass it a function, it calls your function once for each element of the array, similar to how map works. You're probably familiar with map from React. Your function gets called with 2 arguments. The last iterations result in the current array element. It combines the current item with the previous total result and returns the new total. So this will make more sense with an example. Okay, so they're showing right here array of letters, REDUX. They pass this array to reduce, and in the function they have accumulated result and array item, and then that's what they're returning, and then they're passing an empty string. So that's this initial value that they're passing, and what they get in the end is the word redux. So the reducer reduces a whole array of items down to a single result. It's how Redux reducers have this signature: state, action, new state. It takes the current state in an action and returns the new state. Looks a lot like the signature of an array reducer. Okay, so that makes a lot more sense. I think I definitely didn't understand it in the beginning before, and I was trying to explain it. So the reducer's taking the current state and the action that's coming in with it. So that would be these arguments right here. This state is supposed to be the current state, and action is provided to it, and then it's returning the new state based on what the action is. So Redux reducers work just like the function you pass to array.reduce. The thing they reduce is actions. They reduce a set of actions over time into a single state. The difference is that with arrays reduce, it happens all at once, and with Redux, it happens over the lifetime of your running app. And that would be where our switch and case statements come in here. Okay, so the initial state of our reducer is cool. So we have to give it an initial state. I know that I want the initial state to be, well, I want my state to be an array of recipients. So I'm going to give it an initial state of an empty array. Recipients is pointing to an empty array. And just like in here with the counter example, their initial state is 0, what count is starting at. And you see how, so they did it a little bit differently, just declaring that initial state and then passing the variable initial state in here. You can just as easily put it inside the argument right here. And okay, important rule of reducers: never return undefined. You always want your state to be defined. A defined state is a happy state. An undefined state is unhappy. Okay. And two new terms at once. We're going to dispatch some actions. Woof. Okay. What is a Redux action? An action is Redux speak for a plain object with a property called type. That's pretty much it. Following these two rules, this is an action. This is also an action. Here's another one. So this is definitely what's the word I'm looking for? Standardized, like industry standard for as far as actions types go, is capitalizing and snake casing, so using an underscore instead of spaces. It helps other programmers identify when you're talking about an action. And you may have seen that in my other reducer that I stashed. It's in my Git stash. Okay, so they're free-form things. As long as it's an object with a type, it's fair game. In order to keep things sane and maintainable, Redux users usually give our action types that are plain strings, often uppercase, to signify that they're meant to be constant values. Okay, cool. And it's supposed to be a change you want to see or an event that happened. Actions, despite their active sounding names, are boring inert objects. They really don't do anything. To make them do something, you need to dispatch it. And this is how Redux dispatch works. The store we created earlier has a built-in function called dispatch. Okay. Call it with an action, and Redux will call your reducer with that action and then replace the state with whatever your reducer returned. Let's try it out. So const store equals create store reducer, store.dispatch type increment. So that is those dispatch calls to your code sandbox, and add those dispatch calls to your code sandbox and check the console. Let's do that. Let's do that just to have a little fun. You know, just shake things up. Every call to dispatch results in a call to your reducer. There we go. And would you look at that? Now we have a default state too, an array that has 0 objects. So we have type init upon creation of the store, because that's up here, then the console log after create store, and now increment, increment, decrement, reset. So that's pretty cool. Someone's frogging me. Just want to make sure that this text is big enough. Good. Notice how the state is the same every time, never changes. That's because our reducer is not acting on those actions. That's an easy fix. Cool. So handle actions in the Redux reducer. To make actions actually do something, we need to write some code in the reducer that will inspect the type of each action, update the state accordingly. There are a few ways to do this. You can make a fancy object where you look up a handler function by the action's type, or you can write a bunch of if-else statements. You can use a simple switch statement. So this is what I was referring to earlier with the switch statement. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pop, oh shoot, I gotta change into my correct thing, and I'm gonna pop that file out of the stash. Okay, that's not what I want. And I'm just gonna copy this. Yeah. So there, put that in, and I'm going to delete this because I don't need it anymore. Is it gone? Is it gone? Okay. There we go. And now I'll tell you what just happened. If I can get my terminal closed. Cool. Alright, so this is what I worked on yesterday. I had case statements for adding a recipient, updating, and removing. Update I didn't finish, so I'm going to just put that for now. And put a note. Oh. So because I just don't want any code to go wonky on me. I'm gonna comment out this whole thing, actually. Okay, so I have add and remove. And I'm gonna move this up. Come on, Meg, you got this. Cut, there we go. My fingers decide to start working again. Yay. Okay, put these close together so it's easier to look at. So depending on the action type that comes in, it's going to read through this, and when it's type add recipient, this is what will fire off afterwards. It'll return this stuff. I think I'm gonna refactor this later because usually it comes with something called a payload, and I wanna look up here. Okay. So when they say what's a Redux action, this has item here. A lot of times this is called a payload, and then whatever else comes through is the data. So that's like another standardized thing, and I'd like to stick with that. So I think that for now I'm going to keep it like this just so I remember where I was going. So if the type is add recipient, do this. If it's remove recipient, do this. If it returns something that's not either of these, or for some reason there is no type, it'll just default and return the current state that was passed in when the reducer was called. So I can't test to show that it's changing because with this one, this is manipulating a number. It's adding and subtracting from an integer. But actually, I can if I want to. If I just want to do this, and I'll just undo it. Recipients dot state dot recipients plus 1 and state.recipients minus 1. And then for reset, it should just return the current state. Let's see what happens. Let's see if my prediction is correct. Ah! It didn't do anything. State state equals recipients. Let's see. I'm going to go back up to that initial state and double check. Count is 0. That's correct. Function reducer state equals recipients 0 action switch action type case add recipients state dot recipients plus 1 state dot recipients minus 1. That is interesting. Recipient reducer. That's working. Oh, because the types are different. Add recipient. Remove recipient. All right. Now that should do something. Okay, cool. So now we see for add recipient, it goes and adds 1, and then we have 2, it removes 1, it adds 1 again, then removes 1. Remember, the state that we're seeing here is the state that is being passed in to the reducer. So this is before this dispatch goes off. Let me do after create store. Where did we put the console log? After dispatches, gosh, and then I wonder if this will show anything. Let's see. Woo woo. All right, cowboy. Oh. Okay. I think that I just went a little nutty. That's okay. Anyway, at least we could see that things were moving. Now let's go back and see here. Count is changing. Yay. Okay. Keep our reducers. pure. They must be pure functions. They can't modify their arguments and can't have side effects. So a side effect, any change to something outside the scope of the function. So like this. Bad. Bad, bad. Oh, technically console log is a side effect. Most important thing is this: don't modify the state argument. You can't do state.count equals 0. Oh, wait. So you can do, my bad, you can do count equals 0. You can't do state.count equals 0. My bad. This is okay. State.count equals 0. Not okay. You can't push items to state. You can't increment. Don't mutate. It's a fun game. Yeah, okay, whatever, Dave. Full guide to do immutable updates in Redux. Oh, God. I might as well keep that one on the back burner. Because Lord knows I'll mess it up. I'll find a way. Install the Immer library. So I definitely heard of Immer. That is included in Redux Toolkit. And if you're starting a brand new app, use Immer from the beginning. Ugh. Yeah, it looks confusing. I don't know. But anyway. Okay. Yes, it is exhausting. It's a rule factory. And Redux is like an overbearing parent. And it comes from a place of love. Oh my gosh. You know what, Dave? You're making good points. Okay. Okay, state is read-only. Changes happen one way and only one way. Dispatch action, reducer, new state. Reducer function must be pure. Pure. Okay. Oh, wire stack, you're sticking to rest and go. Everything ain't for everybody. I have not played with either of those, but if that's your thing, you go ahead. Okay, cool. We're getting into these. Provider and connect. GUIs scare you? Yeah, sometimes they are. They are scary. That's why I like doing Git from the terminal, because no matter what company you work at, Git's the same in the terminal. You don't have to use a new GUI everywhere you go. By wrapping the entire app with the provider component, every component in the tree will be able to access the Redux store if it wants to. And hey, would you look at that? I already did that. Sorry, Dave. Already ahead of you. The provider might seem like total magic. It uses React's context feature under the hood. Ooh, context is a secret passageway connected to every component, and using connect opens the door to the passageway. Oh my gosh, okay. My friend Steven was telling me about this, and we decided that It's actually a wormhole. So you can open the wormhole from the store to whatever component you want in your library. Like, there you go. There goes the slice that you wanted. Um, oh yeah, Cowboy, Get Kraken. Get Kraken is really good. Uh, I I learned Git using the terminal, and then I would get myself out of trouble using Git Kraken. I'd be like, eh, okay, I googled this and I can't figure it out. I'm going to all the pretty rainbows and comfort of Git Kraken. And then it started yelling at me like, your trial has expired. And I don't know. I I was like, y'all are bothering me too much about forking out money. So I haven't opened that in a while. So we are preparing the component for Redux. I don't have a component, so maybe I should make one. Counter component for Redux. Right now the counter has local state. We're going to rip that out in preparation to get the count as a prop from Redux. Remove the state initialization at the top and set state calls inside increment and decrement. And replace this.state.count with this.props.count. Oh, so they're turning this into a functional component. It looks like. Oh, maybe not. Because they're adding in map state to props. Okay, so my original goal here was to get to get a list of recipients like rendering. So I am thinking that I'm thinking. So, okay, let's do a container. I'm going to make a recipients index container. Let's do that. Yeah. And I know I'm going to want to render inside of here a recipient list, and then probably of recipients list item, and those will be like functional components. So okay, import React. Oh gosh. React component from, here we go. Go away, thank you. And then I know I'm going to use connect at the bottom. Import connect. Ah, there we go. And I'm going to use recipients list from components recipients list. Okay, now class recipients index container extends component I'm going to export this. Just put it like that for now. And I know that I need a render function with a return for every single component to be valid. So I'm just gonna put that in there right now. So what is this gonna do? I'm just I kind of think a lot of technologists are masochists when it comes to learning difficult new things. They're like, no, I can do it! I swear! Okay. An index is going to get all recipients from the backend. Oh, yes, truth. All recipients from the back end, and how are they going to get them? They're going to fetch them. Pass data to recipients list component. Okay. I think this would be a good place to... How far am I? Damn. Okay. So connect the component to Redux. Right now we're at that part. I want to see what else we got here. Dispatch Redux actions from a Redux component. actions. Okay, so map state to props. I'm wondering if he goes into map dispatch to props. Oh, here we go. So writing map dispatch to props object. Where are we? Okay, so they're defining it here, and then just kind of throwing them down here. And then Redux Thunk here. There we go. How to fetch data with Redux Thunk, because that's what I have to use as well. It's great. Okay. What is a thunk? It's a good question. Okay, we're gonna skip down a bit, because first step, fetch all this junk, right? I already know that I'm going to do this, recipients list, right? There's going to be some props in here, and I'm going to connect something else in there too. But I gotta get some data to pass in. That's in my back end. Gotta get it somehow. How am I gonna get it? Don't know. Still working on that part. Alright. But hey, look, we got like 5 changes, so let's take a breather real quick. And I'm gonna shut that down too. And I'm going to make some commits. Actually, I'm going to clean this up first, because we don't need all this. Look at this. Who needs all this? Not me. You already know that works. So, good. Recipient reducer. Now, I know this is going to change in the future, because I'm going to have recipients. No, let me bring this up again. My finder. Oh, I made this meme. Wire static. This might be a little scary for you. I don't want to scare you, but I made a meme. And I feel like you'll appreciate it. And you can look at it while I look for my other thing. There we go. That was my first meme I ever made. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, so this is my model map. Thank you. I used Excalidraw. That's what it's called. And it's free. Except it's kind of weird, because like you can save it as an Excalidraw file to open it again, or send it as a web page. So I just took a screenshot because I was like, the heck. But yeah, these are the models. So the way I'm thinking about this is I'm pretty sure I'm going to have very, very similar actions and reducers for each model here. Just because I think that you can definitely create a recipient on their own. Once that recipient exists, you can create an occasion attached to the recipient, and you can create an item attached to the occasion. So it's kind of like the occasion and recipient would have a dependent destroy on these has many associations, but still I could have an occasion that doesn't have an item, like, oh, so-and-so's birthday, like my dad's birthday, put new recipient, dad, birthday, New Year's Eve, 12/31, but I might not put down an item right away because I don't have something in mind yet, or I just don't put down an occasion because, like, let's say he's still working and then he decides he's going to retire. So retirement party is an occasion, retirement. Then I add that later. So I'm thinking like add, remove, update, that kind of stuff. So I know I'm going to have more reducers, and I'm going to have to use that combined reducer and add it in here somewhere. And actually, I've seen other people had created a store.js file, and I actually thought that was pretty interesting too, because that separated the concerns even more, and I like that. So you know what? I think I might do that. Thanks, guys. Thanks for letting me talk this out with you. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to add these empty. So much better. So much better to talk to than a rubber duck. And my cat, because my cat looks at me with harsh judgment in her eyes. And you don't. You send me cats with glasses that shield that judgment from me. Create presentational component files. So adding those two. The recipients reducer, this is kind of weird. I wonder what the if it's more common to do like plural or singular for reducers just in the name of it, I don't know. I guess it doesn't really matter, but it's bothering me, so I'm gonna keep it plural. There we go. Recipients reducer and git commit fill out recipients reducer we'll do git commit create recipients index container, and now go away, go away. Oh, I didn't change the name of this. Oh, nice. It's like, do you want to automatically update your imports? Yes, please. Just gonna add that real quick. File name change. I can just smush that down later. And there. So now I am in here. Oh, gosh. Yes, it will. Fun trick. Fun trick. What was I gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna make store.js because I saw that and I want to do it. And you can't stop me. Just try. So I am gonna take these. And move them there. I like that little emoji. And I know I'm gonna need combined reducers too, eventually. So I'll just toss that in there for good measure. Now I'm copying out my store as well and moving it over here. Oh, hi train. Hello. And then export default store. Cool. And so I'm pretty sure it goes like this. Root reducer is what you kind of call all of your reducers. And you call combine reducers You know what? I can't remember how to do it. So I'm not going to write this second because I don't need it. And now I'm going to import store from store. Here we go. Let's find out what I broke. Yay! That's not how you do it, Meg. Duh! You gotta flip the words around. You're having to convince the garbage collector. No, you must keep this. Hey Chris, how's it going? We got a celeb in the house, everybody. Space Shot. He's the first man on the moon. No, that's the wrong one. Let's see. Console. Here we go. Woo, okay. Things are happening. Yay. We're in knitting still. Yeah, I'm temporarily streaming more than you, but it's by force. No, I'm not forced to stream, but I'm definitely up against time as far as this coding goes. Alright, cool. So just moved my store to a whole new file. It's a whole new world with my store. And I'm gonna take it and commit all that junk now and say separated store from index.js, or no, yeah, separated store concerns. Ooh, yeah, because index don't care about all this. They just want this word, just that word. That's it. That word and all the data that's shoved into it. They don't care about that. Cool. Cool. Okay. Now, what's a thunk? Wire static. Can you elaborate on your comment? Because I don't know. I wasn't aware there's a difference between get add period and get add asterisk. And I would love to know. Gonna learn something today. Oh. So which one pushes credentials? Oh, you're saying, okay, so you're saying use get add dash a instead of get add period or get add asterisk. Gotcha. Because we don't want to be an idiot like you. Yeah. Wouldn't want to do that. Well, thank you for pointing that out. One person's pain and learning experience is another person's. Thank God that wasn't me. Git add-a only adds and commits previously tracked files. Gotcha, gotcha. So you have to actually manually add new untracked files instead, which makes you more conscientious about that stuff. Oh my goodness. The sun's coming in on me. Ooh. I'm gonna lower my shade real quick. This is like the half hour of time during the day where I start to melt. Any style focused CSS wizards in the house? I like style in CSS. It's fun. Unfortunately, not what I'm here for today. All right, so what are we doing now? We're thunking. Or if you want to get technical, of course we do. That's what we're here for. The function being returned is the thunk, and the one that returns it is the action creator. Hey, pigeon, shut up. There's a pigeon out there yelling at me. Usually I call the whole bundle a thunk action. The function you return from your action creator will be passed two arguments, the dispatch function and get state. Most of the time you'll only need dispatch, but sometimes you want to do something conditionally based on some value in the Redux state. In that case, call get state, and you'll have the entire state to read as needed. Okay. So let's see. We have the middleware that's set up. The reducer, that's all good. We have thunk wrapped in our middleware. And here we go. This is what I came for. Example of fetching data with Redux. Oh, sorry everybody. Got real excited there. So you want to display a list of products or recipients. We have a backend API that answers to get products. So you can create this thunk action to do the fetching. Ooh. Fetch products. Oh, and they even have this error thing, which is nice. Let's do it. Product actions.js. So close that. New file, and I'm going to make this called fetchRecipients.js. Yes, cool. Export function fetch recipients Okay, we're going to return a dispatch using fat arrow function. Fat. Dispatch fetch products begin. Now that is something else. Huh. And that looks kind of familiar. And I'm going to pop back in to the curriculum because I've been here before. Go away. Oh my goodness, I don't want to chat with you. Alright. Middleware. Return, dispatch type. Start adding astronauts request. And add astronauts request. Okay, that's interesting. You start doing it. I think that's the loading. I think that's kind of saying like, hey, we're loading this. And then we stop loading. That's kind of what I get. So let's go with that. Let's just see. Fetch recipients. Just gonna go with what it says now, and I can refactor. If I can spell, I can refactor it later. Return. Return. There we go. Fetch. And backticks. HTTP local host 3001 API recipients. I believe. I think. I hope. I can check. I better check. Yeah, I'm gonna finish writing this out, and then I'll check, because if it's not working because I got that wrong, that would just be a shame. Okay, then what are we getting back? JSON. Dispatch. Fetch. Recipient success. JSON dot recipients. Return. And I have to see how my data is shaped as well, because this might not work the way that they have it here. Oh, I love how they just put a catch in there. I am not great. I'm not good at all. Not good at all with errors. So I love how they just. Dave, thanks, Dave. Thanks for building this in. Just making it nice and easy. All right. Hello there. Thanks for joining. Okay, let's see the back end of this baby. Get Postgres started. Thank you. Good sign so far. And oh, isn't that cute? Okay. Yay, okay. So after I get back the JSON, I think I'm gonna have to figure out what the heck that actually is. You see bacon. Where do you see bacon? Is there bacon behind me? I don't know, yeah. Oh, Megan Bacon. Megan Bacon. Yeah. Bacon. Bacon. Oh, I want it. Why'd you do that? Anyway. Yeah, I think I might have to console log this, and I don't even know if it'll come back. Because I have a dispatch here. Actually, you know, putting a debugger in is probably better, because then it'll stop stuff, and then I can go into the console and be like, what is the data? What is it giving me back? I can actually type JSON into the console and it'll show me what comes back and if it looks like this or not. I'm thinking it's going to give me this array here. So it would be like, instead of data, I'm thinking that it's going to be this, and data is actually going to be data, but I'm not positive, so we'll find out one way or another. And yeah, here we go. Okay. To kick off the call and actually fetch the data, we need to dispatch the fetch products action. Where do you do it? Component div mount. It's in the life cycle. Usually right after that component mounts. Or if you're using hooks inside the use effect hook. If only. So, yeah. Redux actions that fetch data usually come in triplets: begin, success, failure. This isn't a requirement, only a convention. And I like convention, so that's what we're going to do. So let's do, in this case is dispatch the action right after you create store. Let's see. Export. Whoa. So this has product actions.js. So I guess that this is all inside that file. Let's do it. See what happens. And change products to, oops. There we go. Change products to recipients. There we go, there, whoop, S, there we go. And then one more place, recipients. Ooh, I can spell again. There's a lot going on here, whoa, okay. I kind of glazed through this, let's see. This begin success failure pattern is nice because it gives you hooks to keep track of. Oh, there's somebody in the chat. I think you should return only the data, not data.recipients. I do not see the recipients from your API. Cool. You make a good point. There is not anything called recipients in there. So thank you. Thanks for chiming in. I appreciate it. So let's see. Okay, before you start the API call, you dispatch the begin action. Then after the call succeeds, you dispatch success with the data. If it failed instead, you dispatch failure with the error. Sometimes the last one is called error instead, doesn't really matter. Dispatching an error action and handling a failure will lead to no end of hair pulling to trace through your code. Or, okay, so he's just saying you're gonna have a bad time. Yes, I'm very new to Redux. I'm painfully new to Redux and React. And I have like 5.5 more days to write this app. So this is a grand experiment. We'll write a reducer to save the products into the Redux store when it receives the fetch product success action. It'll also set a loading flag to true when the fetch begins and false when it finishes or fails. Okay, so then the reducer, which we do have. Oscar, the deadlines for my coding boot camp. They're like, get done or get out. So, let's see. Oh, and I never went back and fixed this, so this was state. Oh shit. Oh my god. Yeah, okay. I'm trying to remember what I did because there's a lot there that I totally deleted. Okay, I think I remember. So state dot recipients, and then action dot payload recipients. Oh, the comma. There we go. And then we have state here, and this was a filter. So this was state dot recipients dot filter. Can you please get out of my way, whatever you are? Thank you. Recipient. Actually, do that. Filter recipient. And parse int recipient dot ID of base 10 does not equal to parse int payload, action payload. Base 10. What? Okay. There. Yeah, that should work. And okay. So those are just chilling in there until I actually have stuff to send in. But this I can send right now. Fetch recipients begin. Let's see. Oh, and now we're adding stuff to the initial state, which makes me think that it's probably a good idea to set an initial state outside of this now. So let's do this. Ugh. Ah! Why did I pick that word? Why are static? Why? Ah! Jeez. Okay. Actions. Fetch recipients. There we go. Thank you, Oscar. I appreciate the support. Initial state. Get out of there. There we go. Might as well just make this look wonky too. So why not? Why not? Redux likes to make everything look weird. Okay. Let's see. Import that stuff. Oh. No, that's fine, I think. Alright. Good for you, Wire Static. Thank you. Thank you for helping me. Let's see. Okay. So now we're returning this state and marking it as loading. Ah, haha, I was onto something earlier. An error, no errors yet. Fear not, there's still a chance. Now, next case, fetch recipients success. Did I spell all this right? Because these aren't lighting up. Okay, whatever. Return. State. Loading is now false. Get out of there. Error. Oh, nope. We don't have that. We have recipients. Woohoo. Action dot payload. I'm just gonna keep it like that for now, since I still don't know what's gonna come back. And I can go and fix that later. And then fetch recipients. Well, your doom. Okay. State loading is false. False. There. And back. Come on. Error. Action payload error, and then we have no recipients because nothing came back. No. And then our trusty handy dandy default, always down there. Okay. Now now the cage of doom squirrels was open. Doom squirrels. Man. So I'm in the Philly area, and I went to the Philly Zoo, like, it was a long time ago. It was like 10 years ago, I think. But they had a big cage of Russian squirrels, and they were insane. It was definitely the best exhibit that they had, and it was a temporary exhibit because they're not there anymore. But I was just watching them for like 20 minutes, and one of the squirrels the whole time kept running up the side of the cage and doing a backflip just continuously. Running up, backflip, running up, backflip. And I was like, Yeah. Oh, damn. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Yeah, Russian squirrels are nuts. And they drink lots of vodka. Lots. All right, so got that all coded out. Now back to the container. Where is it? Nope, nope. Wrong one. And this is where we put the lifecycle method. Components div mount. So after we're like, yeah, awesome. This is all up in our app. This dot props dispatch and fetch recipients. Ooh, there. And then what do we have here? Okay, cool. So they're defining props here they're deconstructing the state, or no, they're deconstructing the props here to use down below. So defining constants to use, which is pretty slick, and I forget about that all the time until I see it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, you can do that. So let's just do that. I like it. Let's put error loading recipients, and it all comes out of this dot props. If error, so if the error exists, return error. And now the cage of doom squirrels was opened. Yeah, that's a good error message. I feel like it's very descriptive. If loading, I'm just going to I'm going to put something fun. What are we going to do? Huh? What's a fun GIF? Call him out. Oh, I love Stanley. I do. I really love Stanley. He's my favorite. He's my favorite. Can I do this? I think I might. Okay. Let's do that. href via Giphy, and I want to put do you have to put an alt tag in an iframe? Stanley from the office. Let's see. And then and then we have recipients list, and we want to give it a prop recipients. Let's just throw it in there. So I'm going to pass that into this list component, and that's going to render the whole list, and each list will have a list item component inside of it. I'm probably going to bring Bootstrap in here once I actually have, like, you know, data coming in. So I feel like I just have to go through the flow one time and get things moving, and then it'll just be like, all right, bam, 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 you know, just like that. I was like, bam. She's like, bam, and he's like, okay. I think it's that time, folks. The time when Meg starts losing her mind. So what am I doing? Recipients state dot recipients dot data. No, wait, hold on. Okay, what are we doing? We're mapping. What do I do here? Products. Map state to props. And in here, okay, so this in here is the state in the store. This is local that I'm making. So this would be recipients.recipients, which doesn't really look nice or make much sense, but hey, that's what refactoring is for. Loading, loading, there we go. And then error equals state dot recipients dot error, and passing that into connect. Oh, okay, hey, all right. Create our store, pass root reducer. Oh, hey. So that's why they have this here. Okay, so I'm referring to the data with state.products.whatever instead of just state.whatever, because I'm making the assumption that you'll probably have more than one reducer, each handling its own slice of state. To make this work, we can write a root reducer file that pulls them all together. And then we can create our store. Oh gosh, wire static. You've been speaking truth all night long. I cannot even just, oh, yeah. I need a drink. But alas, that shall wait a couple more hours. Maybe one. I don't know. Tiny tickle parts? They have tiny tickle parts now. I like glitter parts. Okay, for all of y'all, I'm just gonna get a little off topic. Sidebar for just a moment. There's a brewery called Levante in Westchester, Pennsylvania. Ugh! Mango glitter parts. They have I'm gonna spell it out in the chat. They have great beer, and they have one like Cloudy and Cumbersome is one that's pretty much shipped all over like the East Coast, and I don't know how far west they go, but Tickle Parts is another one, and it's a heavy hitter. It's pretty hoppy. It's a little bit too hoppy for me, but Glitter Parts is like it's smoother, and it's just so good. And they do fruit infused stuff, and of course, like in the summertime, you know, everybody wants to get more fruity, and you can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. You can order it online too. So even if you're not in the area, I haven't tried Tiny Tickle Parts though. Is that like a lighter one? It sounds like it would be a lighter beer. I'm just so sidebar over. I'm just looking. Okay, cool. Thank you. I'm looking because this whole thing that they're doing here with the state.products.whatevs and doing that so they can use the root reducer like this, I think that there is a different way you can do it, and I would prefer to, here we go, combine reducers. I would prefer to do it a different way if I can, because this just does not look okay. And I like clean looking code. So let's see. This is something else. Refactor using combined reducers. Okay, so they just use keys, key value pair, and books reducer, the key of authors. It doesn't. I'm looking for anything that has this map state to props. Let's see. So this is talking about dispatching actions. They separated them. Authors, reducer. Yeah, I mean, looks like you can just do it. You can just make it up. So let's give that one a shot. Yeah. Bring out my store file. Here we go. And I knew it was root reducer. Did I tell ya? Did I tell ya? Okay. Let's do this. Thank you, Oscar. Validating me. Root reducer equals. We are going to do combine reducers and use the key recipients and what was it? Recipient reducer. Oh, there we go. And so now as I create more, I can just like in here, add them in. They'll be in this store. And I can go back to this container and take out this part. And it won't be so damn confusing. Theoretically. Now let's see if it actually works. This is the fun part. Yeah, I'm gonna test this before I commit anything. Sounds good. Yarn start. Oh yeah. Oh gosh, this is. Let's see. Also, I don't have it rendering anywhere. I just realized. Oh, yay! I don't have it rendering anywhere. So, big whoop, right? But things are happening. Would you look at that? Okay. That's good. That's good. Things are happening. Okay. We did this fetch, this fetchy fetch. Fetch, and come on, there we go. Now, going back up to what I skipped before. Because you know what? Actually, here. I went up too far. I think that right now I'm just going to do this right now. I'm just going to copy this stuff and throw it in there. Just so I know that, just to get there quicker. Recipient. Just to get to the actual get data on the page quicker. And okay, we got map state to props. We got dispatches up here. Stores all set up. Boom. The reducer's reducing, doing the thing. Don't know why that's not working. But remember, this is error-driven development, folks, so fetch recipients. We got the dispatch pointing to the API endpoint. Falling forward development. And let's see. I think that what's going on here? Yeah, this is a little wonky, but we'll figure it out. Let's get app going. Oh, okay, app is gonna return the container. That's what we need. Import. The oh wait, I can't even do that. Okay. I don't think I can. Hold on a second. Default connect map state to props product list. Hold on a second. I might have skipped. Let's go back up because I definitely skipped over something. Okay, now where was our before? I'm pretty sure we were here because I was like, Dave, I already did this. Okay, so connecting up, connect the counter component, map state to props, state, and delete that. And did I do the right thing here? Okay, cool. How to use React Redux Connect. It's a higher order function. Okay. Oh, a higher order component. Ooh. What connect does is hook into Redux, pull out the entire state, pass it through the map states props function that you provide. This needs to be a custom function because only you know the shape of the state you stored in Redux. Okay, what do you need out of this jumbled mess that we call our store? That makes sense. Why not pass the whole state? Because why would you need to? It's a jumbled mess. You don't need to. Dispatch Redux actions from a React component. Now that our counter is connected, we've got the count value. How can we dispatch actions change the count? Connect has your back. Okay. Thank you, Connect. Can dispatch an action from inside the counter and call this .props .dispatch with an action. Which is what we did up here. With our fetch recipients. But I think I'm missing something because it's not mapped down here. I'm not positive though. In most Redux apps, you'll see action constants used in place of plain strings. It's an extra level of abstraction that could save you some time in the long run. Help avoid typos. Oh gosh. Okay, a good place to put these is in an actions.js file. Then you can import the action names and use those instead of writing the strings. That's interesting. So that's what they want me to do here, I'm pretty sure. So, okay, let's try it. New file, actions.js. Toss that puppy in here. Yeah, but that doesn't make sense because then, because I'm using it down here too. So it's like, if I separate them out, I'd have to import actions.js into every single action file I had. It seems like it would be more than it's worth, since I'm having a couple different ones. So let's not do that. Although export const recipes begin, I still am not sure. Okay. You can import the action names and use those instead of writing the strings. This is all This is all confusing. Oh. Excuse me. Okay, so let's see, and what are they doing here? Dave, what are you talking about, Dave? Dave, you're crazy. What are you talking about? I don't understand what you're saying. Okay, so we got right here. We're saying this constant fetch recipients begin is equal to the string fetch recipients begin, because we're worried about typos, which I guess that's like a legit concern, because you've been doing this longer than me, Dave. I'm going to trust you on this, right? So now we're using these constants down in here when we're putting type in our different actions. But here we have this reducer, right? It's going to take in the state, the action, and we're also, all imports and import declaration are unused. We're also importing these fetch recipients begin, and that's exactly how, okay, it's reading that, but it's saying because I put, there we go, I figured it out. I put single quotes around it, and I remove them, and look at that. Look at that. No typos. No typos. We can guarantee it now. Guarantee it. Not that there were any before, but okay, now I understand. Because here, I don't have wire static is having a tiny tickle to celebrate. Oh man. Okay, so when I so when I put these, the add recipient and remove recipient, when I create another file under actions, my actions directory, and I will make a constant so I don't misspell them, then I can get rid of the quotes there too. Don't we say phrasing anymore? Phrasing? Don't we say phrasing? I missed it. Sorry. Oh. I don't watch Archer. I don't watch television. I have no life. But in 5 days, I'll have my life back again. My life will consist of searching for a job to make money to keep my house from falling down around me. like it currently is. That's okay. That's fine. I don't need buckets to collect the water yet. Leaking through my roof. Oh, and food, yes. Oh my god. I used to spend so much money on food, on like going out to eat. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to do that again. It's gonna be so great. Um, and beer. And ice cream. Oh, my birthday's on Saturday. I'm gonna get myself like a big ice cream, whatever. I don't know. I might have ice cream twice on Saturday because it's my birthday and I'm gonna do whatever I want. And I'm gonna be here too, here and here on Twitch. So, um, yeah, here coding, making things. So what was I doing? I was figuring things out. Okay, now we have the fat arrow function and the regular ones. I like doing the arrow functions because you don't gotta worry about like binding your this to the context or whatever. It just does it, and so it's like one less thing. Birthday remix. What? What? Damn. And let's see. Import it and dispatch it, of course. Of course. Duh. Oh, but remember to call the action creator. Gotta call it. So, I knew I was missing something. Okay, we gotta import these. Doop, doop, doop. Right there. So, import. Import fetch recipients from fetch recipients. Okay. And then that should not break on us. And let's see what else. Oh, nice. Also, you'll almost definitely mess this up and be very confused. At least once, probably many times. That's normal. I still forget sometimes. Great, Dave. Thanks for the vote of confidence. Well, anyway. And then we have this is where map dispatched props comes in. Keys become prop names and values should be action creator functions. They get bound to dispatch. Now this is much different than how I learned it. Const map dispatch to props, because the way I learned it was something like map dispatch to props. You're passing in, hey, dispatch And then return an arrow function that dispatches the recipients, that dispatches the function. Or was it that? Because there's a couple different ways. They were like, you could do this, or this, or that, or this. You could do whatever you want. Show me one. Gosh. Perhaps dot store dot blah dot blah. Okay, let's see. Map state to props. Oh, yes. They also, okay. I forgot something. It was fetch recipients was like the key to the value, which was that arrow function that returned the dispatch. And then you could just call like a normal function like that, but you have to include it in your connect here. And like that. Alright, let's import this. Let's figure it out. Import recipients index container. Gosh. Oh, we don't want you. Moment of truth. I'm glad tiny tickle parts taste amazing. Glad you like your tiny tickle parts. Okay. I'm scared, but that's alright. Okay. What went wrong? Recipients.map is not a function. Alright. It went all the way there. So. That is good. I'm pretty sure it happened at the fetch. So what I'm gonna do so this isn't going off. Is put a debugger right here. Nope, I'm not gonna do that. It's saying no. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna put it here. Maybe? Maybe? Yeah? Okay, let's try that. Okay. Now let's see. So this is stopped here. Loading is undefined. Error is undefined. Ooh, okay. That's not good. Something bad happened. Let's look at the console. So we're getting false for loading, and what the heck are these things? Error is null. See ya, Oscar. Okay. Data, dispatch, fetch recipient success data. Let's go into the, oh, no, it's the reducer, I think. Yes, okay. Fetch recipient success and put a debugger there and see what happens there. Hi. So definitely not a success because it never hit that debugger. Okay, I'm going to change this back to this. Take out this map dispatch to props and add it in how it was like before in the example and see if we get something different. And we didn't. Recipient index container dot render. Let's see this full stack here. Recipients dot map is not a function. The above error occurred in recipient's index container component. Uncaught type error. Yeah, so it's mad because recipients is not being a thing right now. Dave, I hate it when you're right. I messed up. Okay. recipients and there we go. So that's going to check that recipients exist, and if it does, then it'll do everything to the right. And let's go to, let's see if this fetch even starts. I'll put this debugger in the begin. It doesn't. Ah, okay, so, oh no. What are you sure you're using mat correctly? Yes. Yep. Yeah, that'll, if this is an array, it'll definitely return something. Maybe I should have it do something more simple, like just return recipients in a div. That's not too hard, is it? That's not asking too much. Hello, Charlie. Oh boy, okay. Objects are not valid as a React child. Use an array instead. Oh, I think it's mad at me for trying to be fancy and doing that key thing earlier. This is what happens when you try to be fancy. Okay, so instead of putting state.recipients.whatever, I was like, I don't want to do that. And I took it away, and now it's yelling at me. Oh, different error. Let me make sure that I fix the store as well. Where did you get off to? Here we go. So this, hold on, let me go back to this tutorial. Just so I don't muck it up even more. Because, here we go. So, what's going on here? We need to pass the products into a product list component that will display them and also be responsible for kicking off the data fetching. So, map state to props, we got all that going. I'm referring to the data with state.products.whatever instead of just state.whatever, because I'm making the assumption that you'll probably have more than one reducer, each handling its own slice of state. To make this work, we can write a root reducer file that pulls them all together. So import products from product reducer. Where is, okay. Import products from product reducer. Export default function product reducer. So I guess just that's what they called it. So I want to be a little more I want to be a little more descriptive than not subscriptive. And just make sure that I have this right. Recipients reducer and export default recipients reducer. And here, recipient reducer. There we go. Okay, let's go back, see what happened. Okay. Hey, what do you say? New error. Where I expect it to be, I have a hole in my pants. Huh, that's... Okay, that happened. Object with keys. Data. Objects are not valid as a React child. Found object with keys. Okay, so this is where I originally had the debugger. I want to look for my bugs. Let's get up in there, little bugs. Jesus Christ. Undefined. Cannot read property. Recipients undefined. Man, what? C dot. Oh, God. I know, because I changed it. I tried to get fancy with it. Meg, why are you getting so fancy? Too fancy over here. Meg, too fancy pants. Too fancy with a hole in her pants. Okay, let's give that one a shot and see if I get yelled at again. Oh my gosh, there's Stanley! It's working! Okay. Here, wait. Y'all gotta see this. Alright. Loading image. It's good, right? That's good, right? Oh my god, I'm so happy! Okay. Okay. Oh, I'm so jazzed. I can't get comfortable. Sorry. Okay. Let me just okay. So get All right, here we go. Now, and hey, did you see this? I just saw this. Oh, okay. There's things in here. Data equals data colon array 9. And that happens to be the number of recipients in my backend. Woo! Okay, so basically I just gotta figure out what this looks like, right? So, okay. Let's go and type in data and see. Get out of here. Okay, see what's in that. What the heck is that? Okay, we have an array of objects and they are numbered. Well, that's the index, yeah. Type recipient attributes. So nested attributes. This is where I would be like, huh, that doesn't really look how I want it to. And I would go to my back end and screw around with my serializers. And what was the issue? Hold on, what was the issue here? Data. Fetch recipients success data. It was not liking something. Return data. Why am I returning this? Because I'm dispatching. Oh. Return fetch. Let's see. Dispatch fetch product success. Return the products. Okay. So that's what's giving us the payload. I wonder why it's not liking this though. Okay, I'm going to comment out this debugger and run it again and just see what. It's an array inside of an object. Maybe I need to get what's inside data.array. I'm going to do that and see if it likes me this time. Ooh, ooh. Objects are not valid as a React child for an object with keys. Oh. If you meant to render a collection of children, use an array instead. Also, I'm gonna fix this real quick because it's gonna just keep going. Did you mean to say class name? You'd be like, fine! Lord. Well, a valid object type. So where is this coming from? I'm going to take out that console log out of my producer. We don't need you no more. Thank you for your services. Okay, when in doubt, go to Google. Google knows all. Let's go to this one. Hey, I zoomed in. You did nothing at all. Thanks a lot. Oh, there we go. Objects are not valid as a React child. Yeah. What is on this site? It is slow as hell. You cannot use objects in JSX. Ah! That's why. It's like, hey you. You can't just throw this on here. You gotta do a little something with me first. You gotta take me out and dress me up first. You gotta map me out, man. So, okay, we know that something good is coming back from all of this. So I'm going on that assumption and I'm gonna try this again with returning recipient in here. Recipient. Oops. Here we go. There. Let's see. Let's see if that did anything. Are you gonna be nice now? Why? Okay. Let's look at this. Now, what am I returning here? Because I might have drilled down too far in my fetch. Debugger. No. Debugger. Oops. No, not you. Okay. Put it here. There we go. There we go. Console. Data.array. Undefined. And that would be why. Okay, let's just return data. Because data.array isn't a thing. I just decided to make up that method in my head. You're welcome, JavaScript. You can have that one. And let's just refresh it. Alright, so this dispatch fetch recipient success. So we have in here fetch recipient success is getting the data, and let's go to the reducer, put a debugger in here because it should go off. Alright, alright, something's happening, something's happening. Now what? Here we go. Okay. We got Cranky Stanley. We have our initial state, the action fetch recipient success. Payload is our data. Which is that array still. Good, good. Now, fetch recipients begin. Nothing. All right, so recipients should be action.payload. And that's the data object. So we want it to be action.payload.data is what we want that to be, because then it will return the array, not the object. See the difference right here in the console? With just action.payload, it's sending back this object, boop, object, but then action.payload.data sends back this array, and it's saying, hey, I'm an array. Oh my god, it's 8:30. I swear, this is me sober. So, let's do a little doodle-doo and give that a restart. See what happens. I'm just going to restart it again. No, we're still unhappy. We are still unhappy. Okay. fetchRecipients. Success. Now, the reducer that's being exported, recipients reducer, we about to go all over the map because I'm not having this. That's coming here. Getting combined into root reducer. Root reducer is going into creating the store. The store is getting exported to index and being used to connect React to Redux here with the provider. Then we call app, which wraps recipient's index container. And recipient's index container gets all this good stuff. Fetch recipients. I mean, did it just not work here? I don't know. Let's see if that works. List.props.recipients. Okay. Let's put the debugger in. Yay, okay. So we're stuck in here. Woo, okay. Props, recipients, empty. That explains something. Why is it empty after it was supposed to fetch? Okay, well. Get rid of this junk. Dispatch, fetch recipients. Fetch recipients from these actions that am I supposed to do that? Or am I supposed to import something different? Maybe I imported the wrong thing. Oh, maybe I did. I don't know. Everything is like named the same thing 5 times over. It's a little bit different. So, yeah. Wire static, you're not giving me your full undivided attention? What? What? Are you kidding? My goodness. Fair enough. Okay, so I'm referring to some other projects and seeing that indeed their setup is similar to what I have. I'm going to try something different with this dispatch though, because we aren't passing nothing down here. So I'm wondering if that's like part of it. They're just like, what's going on? Like I don't know. I can't talk to the Redux because you don't have it in my disconnect magic connect or whatever you called it. Dave, you can't. You know, Dave, you have a lot of great points. Don't use the word magic in programming. Nothing's fucking magic, okay? Sorry. Just isn't. I shouldn't have cursed, but it just isn't. It's not. It's blood, sweat, and tears. Lots of tears. Okay. Oh, cannot read property, request content of undefined. New error! What is happening? Alright, so this is undefined. At least it's not just empty. A for loop, a for each loop. So map is like the same as doing a for each loop, only, well, it's not the same, but here, I'll show you. It's very similar. Map. Yeah. Oh no, I don't know that. Here we go. Map, and then for each. So for each method executes a provide function once for each array element. That creates a new array populated with the results of calling a provide function on every element in the calling array. So actually, I shouldn't do a for each because that would be mutating my data, and that creates a new array. Yeah, I will stay away from that. Let me see. Let me put this back in again. Yeah, this is empty still. So I gotta get that fetch going. Okay, fetch recipients. What am I missing? I'm missing something. Well, it's almost 9 o'clock for me. I feel like I'm at let's see. I feel like I'm at a point where I need nourishment to have productive thought. And yeah, I didn't eat dinner yet. So what I'm gonna do is put a couple notes. I do have yeah, Eureka syndrome. I do have this code on GitHub, so I can paste the repo in there. I'm gonna put a couple notes in here. So fetch recipients is not executing at this point. in the code base. And move that comment here. Could take that out. Just cleaning up some stuff. Recipients reducer. Just taking out some errant debuggers, because before I know it, they'll be everywhere and I'll be bug infested. Ugh, how disgusting. Cool, so let's see. What do we got here? Yes, code bugs are definitely better than bed bugs. I will give you that. Bye-bye. So, git commit, add you. Add fetch. What did I do? Add fetch type, action types to recipients reducer. Fetch recipients outline. Let's just make it. Git commit. Create fetch for recipient data. Recipients data. This I'll do add life cycle method and rendering. This is git commit render recipient and then store. What do I do here? Add combine reducers. Cool. Then git push origin tutorial, because I don't want to merge this with main until I figure out what is going on. And get out of here. Get out of there. Get out of there. Okay. Cool. So here we go. Piece to paste first. There we go. Yeah, cool. I really appreciate y'all for sticking around and helping out, and I will be back tomorrow. I'm going to definitely look over like some other code bases and read some more tonight. And my what? Activity heat map. Sorry, I was distracted. But yeah, And then the back end is right there too. I didn't link them up yet. I mean, they're linked up as far as the actual code if you pull it down, but I usually link them in the readmes as well, but that's going to be like something I'm going to do at the end. So yeah, it's there though. And yeah, thanks again. I'll post like everywhere once I start up again tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have figured a way out of this little hole. So yeah, go for it. Go ahead and have fun. Go wild. Uh, and have a great night, everybody, okay? Yeah. Bye.